inaugural Buckeye basketball extravaganza provided an opportunity for the community to come out and show their appreciation and support for the Buckeyes' upcoming season. A good time was had by all, but after the fun and games were over, everyone knew it was time for business.
Yeah!
The 1996-97 season began the day after Thanksgiving up in Logan. Eric Mitchell and Jeremy Thrapp started out strong for the Buckeyes, scoring 16 of the team's 19 first-quarter points. Eric's steal and layup gave the Buckeyes a 2-point lead after one. Mitchell came out hot in the second, scoring 6 straight points. Thrapp capped off an 8-0 run with his first jam of the year. Ben Roby's layup gave Nelsonville York their first double-digit lead. Joe Higgins' turnaround jumper gave the Buckeyes a 38-31 halftime lead. Mitchell and Jeremy Schultz picked up the offensive slack in the third, combining for 12 points. The Buckeyes knew that to win, they needed to contend with Logan sharpshooter Coy Lindsey, who netted 21 points. But when Jeremy knocked down this huge three, the lead was pushed to 13, and the Buckeyes never looked back. Mitchell capped off his career-high 30-point night and was a factor at both ends of the floor. In a free throw shooting contest down the stretch, Sean Schultz knocked down 6 in the final minutes to help Nelsonville York to a 77-67 victory. The Buckeyes headed to Athens looking for the program's first 2-0 start since 1982. They looked like a well-oiled machine early on, with everyone getting involved. Stifling defense, crisp passing, and hot outside shooting pushed the Buckeyes to an early 17-10 lead. Sean Schultz flat out abused the Athens defender with this no-look pass. Eric Mitchell scored 7 straight in the third to extend the lead to 47-30. But the Buckeyes' well began to run dry, as Clay Watkins' free throw was one of the few bright spots in an Athens 20-2 run, which gave the Bulldogs a brief 50-49 lead. Nelsonville York hung on throughout the fourth quarter by scoring 9 points, all on free throws, to send the game into overtime. From there, Josh Swope and Ben Roby combined for 11 points to help the Buckeyes to their first 2-0 record in 15 years. The Buckeyes took their road show to Federal Hocking as Josh Swope got things started against the Lancers. After being saddled with foul trouble the previous two games, Jeremy Thrapp tried to take over early on both ends of the floor. Although it was after the buzzer, Eric Mitchell wowed the crowd with this 70-foot bomb. Federal Hocking was content to play a slowdown game to control the tempo, and it worked. Jeremy Schultz's 4 second-quarter points were all the Buckeyes could muster in scoring a season-low 16 first-half points. After a spirited halftime speech by Coach Klein, everybody got into the act, going on a 14-1 run in the third and pushing the lead out to 9. Jeremy Schultz hit 2 huge threes in a row to close the third quarter, giving the Buckeyes a 12-point cushion. The press caused problems for the Lancers, leading to some easy buckets. This Federal Hocking jam cut the Buckeye lead to 6. But Nelsonville York proceeded to put the game away. And when Jeremy Schultz scored the last of his 17 points, the Lancers were most certainly down and out. The Buckeyes traveled to Meigs on the last of their 4-game road trip. Eric Mitchell and Jeremy Schultz found their outside touch early on. Even when the Marauders thought they had an advantage, Ben Roby was often there to make the huge defensive play, which led to some easy buckets. Well, pick me up, golden hand. The second game in a row, the Buckeyes found themselves trailing at the half. Nelsonville York made their run in the third, and both Eric and Josh Swope combined for 11 points. And Roby was there to patrol the defensive end. But the quarter belonged to Jeremy Thrapp. He netted 12 points in the quarter, giving the Buckeyes a 47-37 lead after 3. The final period provided a showcase for the entire team, as they were finally going home with a 62-53 win and a 4-0 record overall. Buckeyes came out strong, trying to please the home crowd, racing out to a 14-0 lead, and they never looked back. Suffocating defense forced several turnovers, which led to fast break buckets. Miller's outside shooting kept them in the game, and only trailing by 12 at the half. The third quarter saw both Thrapp and sophomore Flint Smathers take over at both ends of the floor, scoring 8 points apiece in the period. Thrapp turned the game into his own personal layup fest in the fourth and capped off a career-high 33-point night with this jam. Keller Blackburn and Dave Chapman with the finishing touches on the 90-74 win. The Buckeyes travel to Bern Union with an undefeated record and look to put the hurt on early. Jeremy Thrapp's dunk gave the Buckeyes an early 15-4 lead. Jeremy Schultz made an impact early, sticking several jumpers. Flint Smathers' quick hands helped put Thrapp off to the races. Flint and Jeremy Schultz began sticking shots from inside and out during the third. Clay Watkins contributed 2 of his career-high 7 on this play. Senior Mike Whitney knocked down the first bucket of his varsity career. Josh Swope scored 8 straight in the fourth to help put the Rockets away. Keller Blackburn played a physical game at both ends of the floor and iced the 71-53 win. Nelsonville York had lost 18 straight games to the Golden Eagles of Belpre, but tonight seemed like as good a night as any to end that streak. Eric Mitchell continued his early season dominance on both the inside and the perimeter. Jeremy Thrapp continued to take the ball to the rack for his early points. Belpre would not go away, and it took Josh Swope's bucket at the buzzer to give the Buckeyes a 34-31 halftime lead. Everybody got into the swing of things during the third, and they needed to help hold down the upstart Eagles. These 2 free throws tied the game at 54, but that was as close as Belpre would get. Josh Swope's bucket put the Buckeyes ahead to stay. And Mitchell's spectacular alley-oop pass to Thrapp ended any Belpre hope. Eric capped off a game-high 30. Senior stepped up to the line down the stretch and hit the key free throws to seal the 74-61 win. The Buckeyes traveled to Southern with their newly placed number 5 state ranking squarely on their shoulders, but Southern was determined to knock it off. The Buckeyes got the majority of their early points in the paint.
You could have a steam train
In a game that resembled a wrestling match for most of the night, Southern was able to scrap their way to several leads during the first half and trailed by only 1 at the break.
If you bring your blue sky back, all you do is call me. I'll be anything you need. You could have a big dipper going up and down all around the bends. You could have a thunder car bumping. There's a
Clint Smathers, Jeremy Schultz, and Josh Swope continued the layup fest in the third. But once again, Jeremy Thrapp took over the third quarter. He scored 16 points in the quarter, highlighted by this jam, which Coach Klein obviously appreciated. Flint's three-point play in the fourth sealed the 77-70 win. Ben Wagner Gymnasium was hopping as the 8-0 Buckeyes hosted Logan for their second battle this year. Eric Mitchell, Jeremy Thrapp, and Josh Swope started off strong offensively. But again, the Buckeyes had to be wary of Logan's Coy Lindsey, who knocked down 3 first-quarter triples. Jeremy Schultz scored 8 straight points to help offset Lindsey. Sean Schultz and Mitchell knocked down late threes in the second, tying the game at 29. But Lindsey's last-second prayer was answered, giving the Chieftains a 2-point lead at the break. Coy knocked down 3 more threes in the third and single-handedly kept Nelsonville York's outside shooting from keeping the Buckeyes in the game. This Logan layup gave the Chieftains a commanding 54-43 lead with just over 6.5 minutes to go in the contest. That was when Nelsonville York turned up the intensity. Strong defensive pressure and lethal outside shooting gave the Buckeyes an opportunity to win, and this 3 by Sean tied the game. But this runner by Lindsey was the clincher of the 67-64 win, which ended the Buckeyes' 8-game winning streak and their dream of an undefeated season. The Buckeyes look to get back on the winning track against the Tomcats. Eric Mitchell, Josh Swope, and Jeremy Schultz all contributed to overtake an early Trimble lead. After a slow start, Jeremy Thrapp scored 8 points in the second. The Schultzes, Jeremy and Sean, then began to rain threes down on the Tomcats. Trailing by 15 going into the fourth, Trimble attempted to press, but that only led to 2 easy buckets by Swope. Mitchell got the running game going coast to coast, and then assisted on Thrapp's throwdown. And if doing it on the offensive end wasn't enough, the two teamed up to send this shot into the third row. Flint laid this one in. Keller knocked down the free throws. And Clay dropped in this bucket to help finish the 75-53 Buckeye win. Nelsonville York traveled to Alexander in what the local media was calling the game of the decade in Athens County. The hype surrounding the game was enormous, and the alley was jammed to the rafters an hour before the JV contest. Finally, the number 7 and number 3 teams in the state were ready for battle. The Buckeyes went right at 6'10" Spartan Thomas Haskell very successfully in the early going. Jeremy Thrapp made his presence known on both ends of the floor. And when Alex thought they had a sure 2 points, Thrapp sent an emphatic message. This Thrapp bucket and foul sent Haskell to the bench and had Alexander coach Jay Reese miffed, as he would be for the rest of the evening. Swope hit a gorgeous fadeaway double clutch jumper and then hit Jeremy Schultz for 2 of Jeremy's 9. Thrapp put the Spartans at bay, and the Buckeyes had a 2-point halftime lead. Swope started the half with his patented sweeping hook. Eric Mitchell dialed long distance with this 25-foot three. Sean Schultz knocked down this triple to give the Buckeyes an 11-point advantage. Thrapp capped off his enormous 27-point, 16-rebound night. The sophomore trio of Ben Roby, Flint Smathers, and Sean Schultz slammed the door in the final minutes for the 77-67 Buckeye win. Here's what the coaches had to say afterwards.
Give a lot of credit to the Spartans. I think it's a great tribute to Athens County basketball, what went on here tonight, and I'm just pleased that my kids were able to make the play to win the ball game.
You know, this is the environment that I wish for my players, and we got it. Maybe it was too much for them to handle, maybe it's too much for me to handle, I don't know.
Nelsonville York had gained county bragging rights, and an obviously elated Keller Blackburn celebrated with the masses. The 1995-96 season saw the proverbial miscarriage of justice occur at Eastern High School. After the referee counted a basket that went in well after the buzzer, the Buckeyes were beat. But this year, they had their minds set on revenge. Eric Mitchell and Jeremy Thrapp came out smoking, combining for 24 first-quarter points and helping to push the Buckeye lead to 16 after 1. Nelsonville continued their assault in the second when Sean Schultz fooled the entire Eastern defense with this pass. And Thrapp's amazing spin move left his defender in his dust. Eastern's desperation shooting kept the game from becoming a total wash, as the Buckeyes put up a season-high 59 first-half points. When Flynn Smathers was blocked from behind by the 5'7" Eastern defender, Eric couldn't help but cry. It was that laugh on Flynn's shoulder. After Eric got over that, he threw a perfect lob pass to Thrapp. Even though the game was far out of reach by the third, the Buckeyes were still hustling, which earned the adulation of the fans and Coach Klein. Ben Roby again was quick on the defensive end and was rewarded by Sean for his effort. Joe Higgins dropped in a career-high 6, and even Clay Watkins got into the book with this bucket. With the Buckeyes stuck on 94 points, Sean took it on his shoulders to knock down 2 big threes and push Nelsonville York over the century mark for the first time this year. Mike Whitney put the finishing touches on the 101-71 run. Nelsonville York hosted Athens in their second battle of the year, looking to make up for a shaky second half in their first meeting. Sean Schultz's quick hands led to a layup by Ben Roby off the nice feed from Josh Woe. This bullet pass from Sean to Josh gave the Buckeyes a 10-point lead at the break. The Bulldogs pulled it within 3 after 3, but the Buckeyes proceeded to go on a 17-3 run to start the fourth, highlighted by Mitchell's long three-pointer and Thrapp's emphatic slam. Sean's outlet pass to Thrapp provided an exclamation point on a 68-57 win. The Buckeyes were loose going into the World Harvest game, and Eric Mitchell predicted this outcome.
40-point victory.
Something's wrong 'cause my mind is fading.
Nelsonville York unleashed the diamond press early on and wreaked havoc with the Warriors.
Temperatures dropping at the rotten oasis, stealing kisses from the leprous faces. Heads are hanging from the garbage man trees, mouthwash, jukebox, gasoline. Pistols are pointing at a poor man's pockets, smiling eyes ripping out of his sockets.
World Harvest did all they could to hang around, but it was Josh Schwope who led the troops early with 10 first-quarter points. Jeremy Trapp found his spot in the baseline and electrified Ben Wagner with this reverse slam.
Discount orgies on the dropout buses, hitching a ride with the bleeding noses, coming to town with the briefcase blues.
Ben Roby and Sean Schultz hit from the outside. And Jeremy Schultz found the left wing to his liking as he knocked down 10 points in the second, giving the Bucks a 50-30 halftime lead. Roby made an impact on the defensive end with 2 steals, which led to easy layups. Swope netted another 10 in the third, capping off his team-high 20-point night. Dave Chapman dropped in 5 points, and Joe Higgins added 6 more. And Mike Whitney topped off the 99-62 win. Nelsonville York was looking to build on a 2-game lead over Vinton County in the TVC. But from the opening tip, it looked like it was going to be a long night. The Buckeyes seemed lethargic, and the Vikings took advantage with some hot outside shooting to race out to a 27-11 lead after 1. The Buckeyes turned up the heat in the second and were able to cut the lead to 10. But Nelsonville York failed to box anybody out, and the lead ballooned to 15 by the half. Coach Klein was not impressed.
I'll tell you what they're doing. They're outmanning you right now. It's a challenge of your man. On the boards. Number 1, it's a challenge. We've got to box out. You've got to fundamentally look, step, box, go to the board. If everybody does that, we're going to get the rebound. And then on the offensive end, we're going to be able to do something with it.
The Buckeyes responded for a while, but Vinton County was up to the challenge, pushing the lead to 18 with just 8 minutes to go. From there, it became a contest between the Buckeyes' outside shooting and pressure defense and Vinton County's Ryan Caudle's free throw shooting. The Buckeyes kept bombing and scrapping, and when Jeremy Schultz scored on this play, the lead was cut to 4, but they would get no closer. Caudle's 19 of 26 shooting from the line and 41 points overall left the Buckeyes to wonder what happened. The TVC title was again up for grabs, and the Buckeyes had to look to regroup.
He plans to attend Hopkins College and follow a nursing degree. Josh Swope is the son of Malcolm and Kathy Swope of Murray City. Josh has been playing basketball for 8 years. He plans to attend a 4-year college, play basketball, and major in business administration. Eric Mitchell is the son of Carmela Eric and Mike Mitchell. He has been playing football and basketball for 8 years. He plans to go to a 4-year college to play basketball and major in psychology. David Chapman is the son of Juanita Chapman of Nelsonville. Dave has participated in basketball and track while in Nelsonville, New York. He plans to attend Hopkins College and major in juvenile corrections. Jeremy Schultz is the son of Annette and Tom Bentley of Nelsonville and Jim Schultz of Cincinnati. Jeremy has been playing basketball since 3rd grade and has ran track. In the fall, he intends to attend a Division II or III college, play basketball, and major in sports medicine. Jeremy Pratt is the son of Sandy Pratt of Nelsonville. Jeremy has been playing basketball since 4th grade and participates in the high jump and long jump and track. In the fall, he plans to attend a 4-year college, play basketball, and is currently undecided about his major. That's our seniors.
After the senior night festivities, it was time to play basketball. Ben Roby's bucket gave the Buckeyes a 2-point lead after one, and took this nice pass from the Miggs inbounder the other direction. Eric Mitchell's layup ended a ho-hum half of basketball with Nelsonville York leading by 1. In the third, Miggs took a brief lead, but that was short-lived as Jeremy Schultz hit this 3. Eric got it going in the second half, netting 10 of his game-high 24 points in the third quarter. Flint Smathers got wound up after delivering this pass, which led to Thrapp's throwdown. Sean Schultz penetrated the porous Miggs defense to give the Buckeyes a 10-point lead going into the final period. Thrapp added 8 in the fourth to fend off Miggs. But Nelsonville York needed Eric's free throw with 7 seconds left to give them a 2-point lead. As usual, Ben Roby came up with a big defensive play, which led to the Buckeyes' 77-73 win. The Buckeyes traveled to Wellston for their 4th game in 5 nights. Outside shooting helped Nelsonville York to an early 8-3 lead. But from there, the bottom dropped out. Josh Swope scored a team-high 10, all in the first half. Wellston was stronger, faster, and quicker on this night, and Ben Roby's jumper was needed to cut the lead to 11 at the break. The Buckeyes made only 3 field goals in the third, while Wellston's Brody Merrill scored 17 in the quarter and helped put the game out of reach. Coach Klein had seen enough and let his 5 starters watch the rest of the massacre from the bench. Joe Higgins scored a quick 4 points. Dave Chapman dropped in a jumper from the wing. Clay Watkins scored on this layup. And Mike Whitney scored a career-high 4. With under 2 minutes to go, Coach Klein got into an exuberant conversation with the Wellston faithful. He invited all of them to come by and visit Ben Wagner Gymnasium 1 week later when the 2 teams met again. They accepted. And the stage was set for yet another monumental battle for this Nelsonville York Ball Club. The Buckeyes travel to Belpre in search of their first win at Belpre ever. But they had all kinds of trouble putting the ball in the hole. It took nearly 5 minutes before Eric Mitchell dropped in the team's first point. Eric was the lone bright spot early on, scoring 7 first-quarter points. The complexion of the game changed when Jeremy Frapp went down early with an ankle sprain and did not return. Swope was the lone offensive threat in the second, scoring 8 of his 16 points. Jeremy Schultz came up huge in the third, tallying 10 points, including 2 3-pointers. The Buckeyes led by 7 going to the fourth, but scored only 1 field goal in the final 8 minutes and eventually folded, losing to eventual state Final Four team Belpre 46-41. Coach Klein made the invitation, and the Williston fans held up their end of the bargain to help pack Ben Wagner. Jeremy Frapp came out strong, scoring 8 of Nelsonville York's 12 first-quarter points. But the Rockets continued their hot shooting, taking an 11-point lead after 1. At this point, the Buckeyes had had enough and completely took over the game. The second quarter was a showcase for Sean Schultz, as he dropped in 8 of his 14. Jeremy Schultz made a great steal and save on the way to Ben Roby's finish. And when Eric knocked down this 3 as the clock was running down, the Buckeyes were up 39-32 and had no intention of slowing down. The Buckeyes attacked the glass in the third, pushing the lead to 18 after 3. Josh Swope scored 10 in the fourth to cap his game-high 20. Frapp completed his 20-point, 20-rebound night. Clay Watkins and Joe Higgins also got in on the action to ice the 95-67 win. And the 4 seniors who've been through it all walked off the floor at Ben Wagner for the last time. The Buckeyes travel to Vinton County with a one-game TVC lead and looking to win the title outright on the last night of the season. Josh Swope put the Buckeyes on his back, scoring 10 first-quarter points. Vinton played well early and raced to a 29-20 lead. But the Buckeyes refused to give up many easy buckets. Ben Roby's steal led to Thrapp's dunk, which got the Buckeyes back on track. Jeremy Schultz's persistence gave the Buckeyes a 37-36 lead at intermission. Returning from first half foul trouble, Eric Mitchell dropped in 11 in the third. It appeared Lady Luck was squarely on the Buckeyes' shoulders as Roby dropped in this bucket. Mitchell and Thrapp hooked up again on a fantastic alley-oop. When Ryan Caudle drilled this triple, the score was tied at 69. But Swope came up big as he had all night, finishing off his 26-point game, and with some clutch free throws, the long-awaited TVC title was finally coming home to Nelsonville, York. The Buckeyes started their tournament track at Rio Grande against three-point shooting South Webster. Eric Mitchell, Jeremy Thrapp, and Josh Swope got off to a good start offensively and scored all 22 of the team's first quarter points. In the second, the Jeeps began bombing and cutting into the Buckeye lead. Thrapp scored 6 more in the second. Sean's pickpocket routine helped stave off the South Webster run and gave the Buckeyes a 32-30 lead at the half. Josh Swope buried some outside jumpers to start the second. This South Webster 3 gave them their first lead of the game at 45-44. But Sean answered that and gave Nelsonville York a lead they would not relinquish. Swope scored 8 big points in the fourth. This alley-oop to Thrapp sealed the deal. And Eric put his own exclamation point on the Buckeyes' 65-59 win. Nelsonville York was looking to take the sectional title, but it had a duel with the powerful Wheelersburg Pirates down at Rio Grande.